Most people think procrastination means you don't care enough, but honestly, it's usually the opposite. The things you procrastinate on the most are often the things that matter to you the most. That project, that dream, that career move, that one thing you keep saying you'll start tomorrow. Because when something feels important, your brain suddenly becomes scared of messing it up. So instead of risking failure, it tells you to wait. And after a while, waiting becomes a habit. Psychologists call this avoidance coping, which is basically your brain trying to protect you from uncomfortable emotions. Not physical danger, but emotional danger. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. And the weird part is, your brain would rather keep you comfortable than help you grow. So the moment a task feels stressful, you suddenly want to do literally anything else. You check your phone, open YouTube, rearrange your room for absolutely no reason. You tell yourself, I'll do it later when I feel more motivated. But later keeps moving. But here's where procrastination becomes dangerous. Every time you avoid something stressful, your brain rewards you with relief. You feel lighter for a moment, and your brain remembers that feeling. It starts building a pattern. Stress appears. Avoid it. Feel safe again, which means procrastination slowly turns into emotional conditioning. Your brain is literally training itself to escape discomfort. And that's why procrastination isn't really about laziness. Lazy people don't usually feel guilty about resting. Procrastinators do. Constantly. You're not relaxing. You're avoiding. And deep down, you know it. And here's the part nobody likes admitting. Sometimes procrastination has nothing to do with the task itself. It's about what the task means. Because if you actually try your hardest and still fail, that hurts way more than never trying at all. So your brain creates distance, excuses, delays, distractions. Not because you're weak, but because part of you is trying to protect your identity. Because if you never fully try, you never fully find out. This is why thinking about a task often feels worse than actually doing it. Your brain exaggerates discomfort before you begin, but once you finally start, something changes. The fear gets quieter. The task feels smaller. Your brain realizes, oh, this isn't actually killing me. And psychology has studied this for years. Action reduces anxiety. Not overthinking, not waiting, not motivation, action. That's why motivation feels so unreliable. Most people think motivation comes first, but usually, action comes first. Motivation shows up after your brain sees movement. That first step changes everything. And this next part explains why your life still feels stuck. Procrastination doesn't destroy your future all at once. It destroys it quietly. One delayed day at a time, one ignored opportunity. One, I'll start tomorrow. Then suddenly, months pass, and the worst part isn't lost time. It's losing trust in yourself, because eventually, you stop believing your own promises. You say you'll wake up early. You don't. You say you'll start today. You don't. And little by little, your confidence starts collapsing. Not because you can't do hard things, but because your brain learned that your words don't lead to action anymore. That feeling hurts more than failure ever could. So how do you actually stop procrastinating? Not by becoming a different person overnight, and definitely not by waiting to suddenly feel motivated. You start by making the task feel smaller, because your brain fears pressure. It fears huge expectations. So instead of saying, I need to finish everything today, tell yourself, I'll just do this for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes removes the emotional weight. And once you begin, momentum usually takes over naturally. Your brain stops fearing the task because you've already survived starting it. Small action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates change. So no, you were never just lazy. You were overwhelmed, afraid, mentally exhausted, stuck in patterns your brain created to protect you. But patterns can change. One small promise kept at a time. One small action repeated daily. One difficult beginning after another. Because confidence isn't built by thinking about change. It's built by proving to yourself, again and again, that you can move forward, even when your mind tells you not to. And maybe your future doesn't need a perfect version of you. Maybe it just needs you to start.